In the booth, we are back, and today we have a special guest with a very good story. We have an African fighter by the name Rudy Tshisuaka, and he's joining us out of Dubai. So, how are you doing, Rudy?
Yeah, I'm doing good, perfectly fine.
So, you've been in Dubai, you said, for like a year and a half now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a year and a half now.
Was it difficult to adapt? Was it easy to move and like get accustomed to everything there and how life is?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all because once I reached Dubai, the first thing to do was to find a team where I could train. And
Hmm.
for me, it was easy finding a team, and it was easy to be like a part of the team since the team was really welcoming, and I found really awesome guys in the team, and all was good in the beginning. And it's kept on going on a little bit fine, and now it's much more better now because the team has become like my second family.
Nice. That's nice. Yeah. And Dubai, or the Emirates is really coming up in terms of like the gyms that they've set up and everything. There's a lot of also when the UFC started going to Abu Dhabi,
Yeah,
a lot of those fighters on those cards started training at those big gyms there. So it's like gained a good name. So you probably get to see a lot of great talent and work with a lot of big names sometimes.
yeah, sure. I've been training with big fighters from a big organization from UFC. I've been training and sparring with Hamza Chimaev at
Okay.
TKMMA. I've been training with Darren Till. I've been training with John Boy from PFL, with Munir Aziz from UFC. A lot of talent like Brendan MMA from PFL as well. So
Oh yeah.
there are a lot of fighters are coming around, and it's a great opportunity to learn from those people.
Do you see what are the developments you see there in the MMA scene for the Arab world and you know but do you expect that they're going to compete more with the rest of the world now?
Yeah, sure. Because I can see, first of all, in Dubai, there are a lot of wrestlers are coming from Russia, from Dagestan. They're coming, and wrestling is much more improving here. And a lot of MMA fighters are so much into wrestling. And as
Hmm.
you know, wrestling is like almost dominating the whole MMA games right now. And
Hmm.
the Arabs world, I mean, the most Arab countries are like much more investing into MMA, especially a country like Bahrain, country like UAE as well.
Hmm.
So I think there is a very good future in MMA in the all this Arab world.
And you're competing, it says, out of UAE.
Yeah,
So
I'm complete. Mm.
it means you're a national now as well, right? You have the citizenship or no?
No. UAE doesn't give a citizenship like that. For them, it's
Okay.
something different. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
still fighting out of UAE, but I'm still a Congolese by nationality, by citizenship.
Hmm. Yeah, I was just wondering because they do that a lot of the times with athletes. Sometimes they because they have a lot of talented athletes in all sports, like training there because they have a lot of facilities and stuff, and then they wanna compete with the rest of the world. So they, you know, usually like give out passports. Like if you're competing at a high level, they give them out pretty quickly, from
Yeah,
what I remember.
a country that does that usually is Qatar. Qatar gives citizenship easily
Okay,
to
yeah, Qatar does it all the time. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but UAE doesn't used to do that.
So you originally came from the Democratic Republic of Congo, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yep,
that's where you're born. That's where you were like raised at least for like the early part of your life, right?
yeah, yeah.
Can you describe what my friend always used to ask me back in the day? This question. It's sometimes he's like, "Can you remember your first ever conscious memory?"
There are a lot of things I can remember, but if I have to mention the first one,
Mhm,
I was almost 5 years old. I was
mhm,
5 years old. Yeah, for sure, 5 years old when we lost our home, which was in the east part of Congo when there was this Nyiragongo volcano that erupted. It
mhm,
almost wiped the whole city, and we had nowhere to go. We were like to move from our place, our hometown, to a neighboring country, which is Rwanda, and we spent a lot of time the other side of Rwanda, just waiting for the authority to give us some solutions. So I was almost 5 years, but I still remember
mhm.
like it was yesterday. it was crazy because normally when something like that is about to happen, there is the national office. I don't know how they call it in English. In French, we used to call it Office National du Observatoire National du Volcan, which is an institution which is in charge of observing the evolution of the volcano.
Mhm.
They give us some alert, like when it like a red flag, it means that the volcano is already in action. So you guys have to move, and there is a
Oh.
siren all of the town that we have to evacuate as fast as we can, and the authority come with some support to help us evacuate. So for that one, it was weird because nothing has been notified to us, and it seems that the volcano started the lava started moving from underground. So it was not like exploding from the top of the mountain of Kilimanjaro, but it was on the ground. And all of a sudden, it was in the town, and the authority
Oof.
were like a little bit astonished and surprised at the way it happened. So it was in the middle of night time, around I don't know the time exactly, but it was really night because I just remember our parent just took us like like some objects, making us leave faster the house and getting some
Mm.
car or some truck, and the destination was to go to Rwanda because it was unsafe to stay there, because when the lava passes, all that found on its way was being transformed into some rock or some stones,
Yeah.
and it was so scary, and we could see all the smoke coming, and we were just crying, as a little kid.
S-
So that is a memory that I don't know if one day it will be wiped, it will disappear from my mind.
Mm. And maybe yeah, it's so that yeah, that's and then so you say you moved to Rwanda then
Yeah,
because it was the neighboring country, right?
yeah, sure.
So where did you end up there? Like what kind of situation did you end up in there with everybody who fled basically?
Yeah, when we end up in Rwanda, there was some support from the Rwandan government. Although, to be honest, our two countries used to have some tough relation in terms of government to government. I mean,
Mm.
our government with Rwandan government used to be like almost in arguments, conflict all the time. But the population doesn't have any problem. So we were hosted by by
Okay.
local populations. Yeah, and we had no issues. We were given food. We were given all the important stuff, the necessity were given
Mm.
to us by the local population, and some churches. Some churches also assisted us. They gave us some shelter. They gave us food. During almost 6 months we were there, we were like not very bad at all. Although we were missing to be home,
Yeah.
missing some privacy, but at least we were somewhere instead of just handing up on the street.
Hmm. So they put you in
Yeah,
kind of like a camp, like a sort of a, and then in the churches, and then yeah, so everyone is like living in the same big area, like
yeah,
bunk beds and everything. That's what I imagine, at least.
exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And when did you leave there? Like, what? When did they say it's safe to go back? And did you end up going back?
Yeah, it was when after 6 months we were told those who want to be repatriated, those who want to go back to the family, I mean to the home, to Goma, which is it was just it isn't far from Rwanda, because when we cross the border, it's like only 1 kilometer. It's not far enough. But the thing is, it was not very much safe because when the lava passes in a town like Goma, if you read about Goma, you'll see that there is some gas, some kind of gas that can kill. It's really toxic for you, for human body. So
Cool. I'm
there
looking it
were
up
some.
now.
Yes,
Uh,
there is toxic gas because it is Goma is closer to Lake Kivu, and Lake Kivu is full of gas, and that gas can explode anytime. And it was really unsafe to live there, but we had no choice because it's our hometown. We have
mhm.
no any other place to go and stay, so we were obliged to go back
Yeah.
there. Yeah, and there was no way we could build houses with hard materials like bricks or cement, because we never know when the volcano can come again and wipe out everything. So we were
Yeah.
just to build, yeah, our parents just to
Oof.
build some houses with some piece of woods, some woods only, so that we stay inside, protecting ourselves against the rain or some storm or stuff like that.
So you
So
basically didn't put much effort into the structure just because you know it might be for
yeah,
nothing. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It can come again because we had a good house. We had a good house, and the way it was wiped out when we came back after 6 months, you cannot even identify that this was the place where we're living. It's completely full of rock
yeah.
and stones. Yeah, that you cannot even identify the area.
I have the pictures here. I'm seeing the before, like kind of before and after. What That's a scary sight as well. Um,
Yeah.
so the government basically doesn't get involved in supporting or like rebuilding anything, right? This is from what I understand now.
No, no, they don't
So,
really. They didn't really do anything. Yeah.
because what's the political situation like there? To explain to everybody, what are the tensions that are happening over there?
The tension between countries.
Well, in internally, say within Congo, right?
Yeah, Congo has been full of problems since the Independence Day. Since the
Mm.
independence, it has been just with trouble. Since I was born, like on 1997 until now, I never experienced a moment of peace in my life because I was born on the gunshot. Just you can even check 1997 when I was born. It was the beginning of the biggest war of Congo. We were under the President Mobutu, and there were some armed groups that were like coming to overthrow the regime of Mobutu, and war
Mm.
started just in the province where I was born, in Goma, in North Kivu. So North Kivu was like with too many forces supported by some neighboring countries like Rwanda, Uganda,
Mm.
Burundi. All those neighboring countries used to support militias and rebels just with
Mm.
the target of trying to steal or to, okay, I call it just to loot the mining of Congo, especially this lithium, cobalt, all the mining, because my
Mm.
where I was born, I mean, Goma is full of this mining, which are much more search for the construction of this electronic stuff.
Mm.
So when Rwanda is involved, Burundi, for them, it like that war is a great benefit for them, and not only them, but also multinational companies that makes phones, all these scooters with lithium battery. So
Mm.
it like a kind of advantage for those country, and it's boosting the economy of those country while people are really dying. And since I was born until now, the situation is still the same. Nothing has been changed. People are dying, people are being
Mm.
displaced, and people never experienced peace since I was born, since I grew up, since I left that country, because I left that country like 10 years back now, but the situation is unchanged, still the same. And the all the African countries know what is going on there. Not only African countries, but even the United Nations, all the superpower. I mean, Europe, US, all the West. They know about what is going on in my country, but it like they don't really care about what is going on, and that is really what
Mm.
makes me feel bad so far because those people living there, they are human beings, just like every other human being in the world. They have
Yeah.
blood, they have everything just like normal human being, but their life is like worthless. They die every day. They have been displaced, and only for these mining and these materials, how can they accept to sacrifice people's life just for this temporary wealth that cannot be really considered like more value than human life?
So just to touch upon this point that you just mentioned about the multinationals. So the multinationals you're saying are funding um, the rebels because they're on the
Yeah,
floor and they can like get the resources for them
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So essentially those multinationals would be involved in the war and in the death of innocent people.
Absolutely,
That's how it
because
works.
can you imagine that those armed groups, they are like local ones, and they are supplied by big weapons and
Yeah.
modern weapons. How are they supplied with modern weapons? That's the biggest question. And not only they are having these modern weapons, but also all these multinational, the majority of those multinational companies, they are based in those foreign countries. You'll see them, they're based in Rwanda, they're based in Uganda, and they are operating from there.
Hmm.
But in our own country, in Congo, they are not there, but they are operating from neighboring countries. It means that they are being supplied by those armed groups, and they are developing all
Because
this technology from neighboring countries.
Rwanda and who was the other neighboring country?
Uganda, Burundi.
Uganda.
There is Uganda and
Uganda.
Burundi. Yeah.
So they don't have those same resources that the
They don't.
multinational is based there. So
They, they don't.
they know for sure it's coming from Congo.
Yeah, but you know that the big thing that we don't really understand is that Rwanda is doesn't have any resources into his land, but they are the first country exporting coltan, the coltan that
Hmm.
we use, which is used for doing all this telephone and so on. They are exporting coltan, but they don't have coltan in their soil. So how is it possible? And that coltan is coming from my
Hmm.
country. And what do we do? We don't understand why those multinationals cannot deal directly with our government or our country directly, and they have to pass by doing all this dramatic situation in terms of displacing people, killing people, well, they can deal directly with the government and do it in a legal way. I don't know. I don't understand. I really try to understand that, and I've never been able to understand the situation.
I would assume that that the government would want a cut as well, a part of it, and it's probably
No,
greed because it's cheaper and they don't have to share their profits in a way. Because a lot
what
of
I
the time in
know,
countries, yeah,
yeah,
I mean, so those are things I'm familiar with a little bit. You know, you have certain kind of similar situations in the Middle East, especially in countries that have been affected by war and stuff. You know, so these things are familiar to me, at least where I grew up in Jordan.
mhm,
And you know, so that's would be my assumption. But
yeah. In fact, what I understand from our government also, the majority of people who are like leaders of my country, they have also some kind of attitude which are not really responsible. There is a great threat of corruption going on, and also their diplomacy or foreign affairs is not really efficient, because if it was really efficient, they could deal with this situation a long time back. But the same situation have been observed decade after decade, and nothing is changing. It means
mm,
there are also responsibility in our government side as well, not only those foreign countries, because we are just seeing that okay, we are being invaded by these foreign countries, but the responsibility is also with our government. Because if you see those countries like Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, they are small countries, very small countries in terms of size and in terms of population. But how come they can be able to kneel down a big country like Congo for years? Which means that there is something which is not going on well between those countries.
yeah, that means that the Congolese government is benefiting in some way
Absolutely,
because
absolutely,
otherwise it wouldn't be going on for 10 years and nobody's batting an eye to it. So yeah,
definitely, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and there's no which are there any which countries, which foreign Western countries are there any that are supplying like military aid and you know perhaps through the United Nations or whatever it is?
Yeah, in Goma, when since I was a kid, I grew up, I saw a lot of humanitarian NGO, non-governmental organization are based there.
Mhm.
You have USA. There's the United States Agency for International Development is there. There is the UK head is there. Just agencies. I can see mostly agencies. Even the
Mhm.
United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the UNHCR, is also there.
Yeah.
Just helping refugees and displaced people with some food, oil, which is not even sufficient for them to survive properly.
So imagine when you're stuck in that situation and you try to think about your future, like what are you sort of imagining? Like what are the first things you think about how can you go about leaving and sort of changing your life?
When you are in a country like Congo, you cannot really think about future. You cannot really think about future, and that is the worst thing the worst thing, because how can you think about future while you have a hard time even feeding yourself? You're eating
Yeah.
food that which is not even convenient, low quality, less quantity, and everything which is given to you is like a really low quality. And anytime there will be gunshots every time. Can you imagine when I was growing in Congo, when you hear some gunshots, you are not even surprised because it's like daily life.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
You can hear that at the corner of the street there is a dead body there. Someone is shot and dead, and you don't even care about it. You don't even go and check who died, because you know it's things that are frequent. And there was
And then
no hope at all, no hope at all. And
that
still the
makes it even
situation didn't
scarier.
change so far. Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, but no, that makes it even scarier that you see that and you think that, okay, because nobody cares about who died or whatever that is, that could be you as well. So every time
yeah,
you
sure,
walk, you think about it probably in your head, like, I could get killed here, nobody's gonna care, nobody's gonna even
anytime.
try to stop it, so
Yeah.
um so would you like describe it as like the future is your next meal, basically, you're looking at? That's how low the ambition was, in the sense that the how far the imagination can go is like, I'm trying to secure my next meal. That's the next thing I can think of.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
In fact, in Congo, especially in Goma, in the east part of Congo, it was so hard to think about the future. Even can you imagine people are having even hard time saving money in the bank, because when the militias or group armed, I mean some rebels come take over the country, all the banks
Mhm.
close. You don't have money, and when they close like that, what are you gonna do? You don't have even money to pay the
Wow.
bus to leave the country to go to. People prefer keeping or saving their money in their houses,
Oh
because
my
they know
god.
the
And
banks can close anytime, and when they close, not only for the fear of armed groups, but also some banks are coming there after 2 3 months. People save their money, and the bank just go bankrupt. Everything is closed. The money disappear, and things like that have been
so
observed like so many times that people, even up to now, they don't trust banks. The banking system is really down.
do you think people are just coming in and setting up banks to steal money, basically? Like, they set them up, and then
Definitely.
when people
and
put their money in it, they take it and leave.
and the thing which is so weird is that in those banks there are some people having shares, and those people are from the government as well, which means when they go bankrupt, they are protected by those people who are like a politician. They can be governors, congressmen. They are also members of the. Like a system which is organized just to steal the population, which is already poor. Because can you imagine, in terms of
Mhm.
even if we talk about jobs, or there is no job. You can see, even if you see some reports, it's like 83% of the population are working in informal sector. There is no official job like with a contract, with a normal salary. There isn't. The country is like, I don't know if the country is surviving. It's maybe a miracle. It's really a miracle.
It's great. So it's literally like a group of people just went somewhere and just started living without any rules or regulations or anything, and just trying to survive. Everyone is trying to survive off of
Sure.
each other, basically.
Yeah.
Is what I imagined. Yeah. But you did get out though. So what was the beginning of the process like? How did you start getting away from this?
Okay. First of all, my father was in the army. He was a soldier as well, because the only job you can get easily there is either you go to the police, either you go to the army, and the army can
Ah,
recruit anyone. There is no like some standard to recruit people in the army. Anyone can go, even people without any education can go there, because it's the only
yeah.
thing people can do. Sometimes the the army can come just where people we are playing football. They just arrest all of you guys, either you like it or not. They put you in a big truck and take you to a place where they're gonna teach you how to shoot. And most of my friends have been taken by the regular army by force, taken away, and
Oh,
they took even non-age, I mean underage kids. We were just when we see the army car or truck come, we have to run away because they're gonna take you away, separate you with your parents, of your family. So it was almost like that. And when my
But for
father
what
was,
reason? To recruit them, or like to just what's the
yeah,
reason?
the recruiting was by
Oh,
force.
okay. Yeah.
The thing
Good.
is,
Yeah.
nobody was willing to go to the army. Nobody was, because they know that this war, which is in my country, it's like something which is organized in some level. It's organized, and the government can be included. Like when you go to the army, you are sacrificing your own life. So
Basically, yeah.
nobody was willing to go to the army to be recruited. So they are coming now to take you by force because they
Mhm.
want some numbers of soldiers to be deployed for some operations. So they come, they just teach you how to shoot, and they, without any really military training, they just take you like that. So when my father went to fight, there was a rebel group of CNDP. When CNDP came with
CNDP.
Laurent Kunda Batware, that guy was almost about to get the town of Goma, and my father and the rest of the army was taken to go to fight the rebel chosen 2000, 2007, I think 2007. Yeah, I was almost 10 years old at the time. I was almost 10 years old, and my father was taken there, and we just heard that he died. He died because we used to get some news uh, uh, from there is a camp for officers. When you don't get news from the family or your father, maybe it's in the army, or your brother, you go and ask, how's my brother? They can make a call so that you can talk to him, because from them they don't have normal phones. They we communicate through some kind of old equipment, like talkie-walkie or something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Walkie talkies.
Yeah. So we were told that he's no longer alive. He died during a military operation. My mom lost her mind, and she took a car directly. She went to the front line. She wanted to see
Wow.
the dead body to confirm. And my mom
Wow.
left. She never came back. She never came back. She also
Wow.
died the same year, same month as well. And can you imagine? I'm in a family of seven, and all of the five sister they are just girls. I have one brother, and my brother was not with us. He was not living with us. He was living in the capital city in Kinshasa. We
Okay.
were
Yeah.
Yeah, he was living with our uncle, and I was the only one with my sisters, like with five sisters. And the biggest problem there was we were not having like uncles or people to whom we could rely, and it's became really hard to deal with. And the thing with Goma is that raping a girl is so common, so frequent. And I have five sisters. It was so hard for me to handle them, to protect them, to secure them. And that's the way I started martial arts. I went to a karate club. I said, no, I have to learn how to defend myself and how to fight in case we are. They can get it into your house. Not even the only people they come, they steal whatever you want, whatever they want. They rape your sisters, and then they go. So for me, I was scared by the idea. If they get into the house, I don't know how to defend myself. I don't know how to fight. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
That's how I started karate. And luckily, my uncles from Kinshasa, they say, okay, you guys cannot stand there, cannot stay there. You are really unsafe. It's better you come here in Kinshasa. That's the way they took us from Goma to Kinshasa. We reached Kinshasa, and that was again a great history, because we are all Congolese from the same country. But the biggest
Mm.
problem is that we are not really like a whole nation. We are not really a nation in terms of love and okay, brotherhood. There is not a brotherhood because people from
No.
Kinshasa, they are from the west. Yeah,
Mm.
those people, when they hear about people from Goma or from North Kivu, for them they only consider us like Rwandese. They say you guys have been marrying people from Rwanda, from Uganda, so you are just foreigners. So integration was not easy. Nobody could believe that we are Congolese, and not the government, but the population. They are really scared. They say, okay, you are coming to invade us. and especially in the east part of Congo, we speak Swahili, and in the west, they speak Lingala. All of us, we speak French like a national language, official language, but locally, the languages we speak are different. So in Kinshasa, when you don't speak Lingala, the language which is more spoken there, you will not be considered like Congolese. They only take Congolese, those people speaking Lingala. So even at school, I was not really at peace because they were trying to beat me all the time. Oh, these Rwandese are coming here. You run Goma, you come here. So it was
crazy.
all the time. Yeah, the neighborhood.
Feel like a foreigner in your own country is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was really like a foreigner. I spent only like 3 years, and I was unable to continue living there. I learned some Lingala, but still they were considering me like a foreigner, abusing me, beating me all the time. I kept on learning karate, kickboxing, but I was not unable really to use it. I can use it only maybe in the club, but in the street I was like tired, not tired, but scared to use it. So I decided to leave Kinshasa and go back to Goma because that is the only place where, although there is insecurity, but at least people like being with me, talking to me. I'm like feeling home. All
So you
my,
felt. So you went back because you were feeling lonely, like basically, or like, is it?
Yeah, first of all, my uncle didn't want me to do martial art because they are from a religion, a religion. I don't know if I can mention the religion. They're from a religion that doesn't accept people to do martial art. They take martial art like violence, all
Yeah.
this
Okay.
stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, so they didn't want me to do martial art, and they were forcing me to stop. I was sneaking, going to learn secretly. I was going to train. I put my all my stuff, my gloves in the bag. Like I'm going to school. After school, I have to go to a club. Then after I come home, and whenever they were hearing that I'm doing martial art, they were beating me badly, very badly. And I decided I want some freedom. I want to learn freely. And instead of taking the flight, because nobody could buy me a flight ticket from Kinshasa, the capital city, to Goma, I used the boats. Uh, I went like 1 month using the boats till I reached the east part of Congo. Then I took some truck going until, because I had the PlayStation game, I sold it. It was PlayStation One. I think I sold this and I get some money to move back to Goma. When I moved back there, I didn't have a family where to stay. Nobody, no place to stay. So
Yeah.
I was living with some friends, and I was really a kid, but I was like feeling that my place is not here. I cannot stay here. I need a place where I can really feel like I'm home, because Goma was really unsafe. Kinshasa was also unsafe as well for me. I was not feeling in peace. So I was like, my country doesn't like me and I don't like these people. I don't like this place. Why should I stay here? But I didn't know where to go. I never left my country before. Then there was a time there was some other groups of rebels, of militias that came to invade Goma completely. They are called the M23. M23. M23 came in 2013. M23 came, and it was like, okay, I don't have any choice. I have to leave this place. I cannot stay because they were killing.
Oh,
If
that
they
was.
hear that, yeah, you are from military family, or you have some link with some family army, or so we were like unsafe. We were just to run away from that country.
Right.
We crossed like 2 countries. I crossed Rwanda without passport, without visa. It was really unsafe, but we were just sneaking,
Did you go on
sneaking,
foot? Is it
sneaking.
like?
Yeah, we were going on
Yeah.
foot because the
Oof.
the the
And
borders
hiding
are
and
like
running and.
yeah, right, running,
Oof.
hiding. Sometimes you see a car, you just hang on the car, and you pass some borders. We
Wow.
passed Rwanda. We went to Uganda. After Uganda, we continue until we reach Kenya, because Kenya was considered like the safest country
Yeah.
of the Eastern African
But did
community.
you know where you were going, or were you just going like
Not
in a
absolutely,
direction?
absolutely not. I didn't know
No,
where
you just
I was
needed
going.
to leave the border. That's.
But we were like five people, five young men were going together. But all of these four had some families in Kenya. When we reached there, they went straight away to their family. And there was one guy, one friend of mine, who wanted to go with me to his place. When I reached there to his haunt in Kenya, Nairobi, unfortunately, they didn't want to take me. life was like a little bit hard for them as well. They couldn't keep me, so I was like
Oh,
in the streets of Kenya, Nairobi. I don't know English. I cannot speak English. I just speak French and my local language. Nothing to eat. I did like 2 days literally without eating. And when I meet one guy, he was a policeman. He was like about to arrest me. Why you are sleeping outside here? I tried to explain him. I said, no, you have to go to the UNHCR, the United Nations Agency for Refugees. I don't know. I didn't have even transportation to go to the office, so he took me. He went with me to the UN agency, and from there they took me to a very big refugee camp, which is called the Kakuma refugee camp, one of the biggest camp in the world in northeast of Kenya. It's like a desert, arid desert. Kakuma refugee camp was like.
oh,
Then I see life there. I was crying, crying, crying. I couldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't speak to because I couldn't go back to
oh,
Congo. I couldn't stay to Nairobi. And life in
oh,
Kakuma
man,
was
yeah.
like full of scorpions, snakes, spiders. So they can bite you anytime. You can die anytime, and the food
Did-
the food was like insufficient. It was like really, really, I say, better even dying. I was really going through the depression. I couldn't talk to anyone. I was just alone. And I came to realize that there is a youth center club where I could go and learn martial art or practice martial art. So martial art became like my
Oh, in the
therapy.
camp.
Yeah, in the camp, there is a youth center. There is an
Hmm.
NGO, an organization called LWF. It's for the Lutheran World Federation or something. They are organizing youth center community to help young men to develop their talent like basketball, football, any sports you want. So luckily when I reached there was a boxing club and kickboxing club. I started practicing there. I started practicing, and I saw that my level, because it was like an obsession, the only thing I was doing and I was feeling in peace there, it was only when I'm like training. And I
Hmm.
started posting some few stuff, some few training on Instagram, some social media. Then I came to there was a guy coming from nowhere. I think it's maybe God who sent him. Is from the US, from Texas. It's called
Okay.
Danobot. Yeah, he just told me, hey, man, I used to see you. Where are you? I explained him where I was, and he told me, why are you staying there? I heard that in Nairobi there are some fights there. You can go and fight there. I say, I cannot. I don't have anyone to support me. I don't have work. I don't have a job there. What can I do? He told me, don't worry, I'll pay you your rent, I'll pay your transportation. You can go there and
Wow,
start
man.
fighting.
Oh
I
my
said,
God.
damn, that day I didn't even sleep. I was looking for opportunity to start fighting because I just watched a fight of this fight of Conor McGregor versus Ned Diaz. It was the second fight, their second fight where Conor McGregor
Mm.
won in the cage. I said it was my first time to discover MMA. I said, damn, I like this fight in the cage, and I saw like blood. I was like inspired a lot because I've been living the place where blood come from guns. I said,
You're
yeah,
like, this
if
is
I can,
normal for me. This is like, yeah, I can do
yeah,
this.
these are natural weapons. I said, okay, let me do it.
Yeah.
Then it
This
took
was
me to
peaceful for
Nairobi.
you.
Exactly. I took me to Nairobi. Then I started directly my first. I didn't take a chance to start amateur. Directly, I started professional Muay Thai. I
Mm.
fought professional Muay
Mm.
Thai,
Straight.
and then yeah, straight. I win
Without any
until
Muay
the.
Thai experience?
And I never fought Muay Thai before in my life.
Yeah.
That was the first
Because you did
time.
kickboxing, boxing, karate. You
Exactly.
didn't do Muay
Muay
Thai
Thai,
ever, yeah.
I never, and I had the hard time now with the clinch and all this stuff. It was
Hmm.
really, really hard for me, but I win until the final. I got the medal as a Kenyan welterweight Muay Thai champion. And
Wow.
kickboxing fight came again. I win the kickboxing tournament, and I say I have to fight more. Then that guy from the US starts really supporting me without asking me anything in return. Like, okay, when
So he just
you
literally
can,
just started paying you everything
yeah,
and
pay
funding
me
your
the
career?
exactly. And we never
Wow.
met so far. We never met. We don't know each other. Just by social media like
Still.
this, just helping me. Yeah, he helped me too
Wow.
much, and he supported my flight tickets to the Central African Republic. I went for a kickboxing fight there. I reached there and I fought. I lost in the final. I became a Central African kickboxing vice champion. And he paid again. You know, in Africa, even if you're champion, just a name. There is no money coming with it. It's like okay,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
almost nothing. So I came back from Central African Republic to Kenya again. I win again the national circuit, but I was just excited to start with MMA because in my I was just having Conor McGregor and they just fight in my mind all the time. But I didn't know anything about wrestling, about jiu-jitsu, nothing completely. I thought that guy from the US. I said I want to fight MMA, but there is no gym of MMA here. There is nothing completely. So it's okay. Just check which country you can go for MMA, and I can support you. So I was to go to South Africa, but the thing with South Africa is that they were having also some problem back in the time about these things of xenophobia. They didn't want
okay, yeah.
foreign people to be there. Yeah, so I couldn't
I was
go
gonna
there.
say like it seems like it's a difficult place to get into, as
Exactly.
in like
Yeah,
you won't
yeah,
get
yeah.
accepted.
Yeah, although in terms of sports they are so much more advanced in the African continent, but
Yeah.
yeah, living there is not easy. So the only place where I could go was to go to Egypt because Egypt was giving those they have good facility for MMA. So when I was going to Egypt, the biggest thing I had with Egypt also was having a visa to get to access Egypt was not easy. Because can you imagine when I was living in Kenya, I was living without passport, without visa, I was living as a refugee, but going to another country, I needed a passport, I needed a visa,
Oh
and so
man,
on.
yeah.
And that guy from the US bought for me everything. He made me a passport. He made me a
Oof.
visa to go to Sudan. And in Sudan, when I reached Sudan, it was again hard because it was during the pandemic and 2019, almost 2019, 2020 or 2019,
Yeah.
the beginning of 2020 and all
Mhm.
the events were cancelled. I couldn't fight, and
Oh man.
the budget I had was like small, and I was living in a hotel. I didn't know anyone, and the language also was also a big barrier because I couldn't speak Arabic. The biggest,
Yeah.
the main language there is Arabic, and I don't know Arabic. It was super hard, very very hard, and
Would it
in the
surprise
same
you
time,
to know that I can speak the Sudanese Arabic as well?
they speak it.
I can speak it because Arabic is my first language actually, but like the Sudanese Arabic, I have a lot of Sudanese friends here that like they didn't understand my Jordanian Arabic that well, and I started slowly
Yeah.
adapting, and now I'm not gonna نعاود شنو يا زول عارف كيف والحاجات دي والحاجات دي so I'm like
Yeah, as well.
يا زول
Yeah.
عامل شنو يا زول yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So
but
it
yeah,
was very hard. And the biggest problem again I faced is that the person who was supporting me was like he also got COVID. He got
okay.
COVID and he was in the hospital. He couldn't support me as well, so it's become very hard for me. I
Oh
start
yeah, these medical
again.
bills and everything.
Yeah. I had
Oh my
very
god,
hard
America, yeah.
harsh life, sleeping in the streets, having hard time. I live. Yeah, it was really hard, really hard. I was
Mm.
collecting food from the waste, from all the way the trash, trying to clean
Yeah.
it, heating. It was very hard until when I met a coach. He was a sheikh, a Muslim who helped me a lot, and he gave me a place to sleep in the gym. He told me from now on you can come and sleep in the gym because you can train here for free. You can train for free and you can sleep as well here. The biggest thing was I had to wake up early in the morning around 6 a.m. because the gym should be used for people who want to work out. I was
Mm.
sleeping there. He was providing food for me and all the stuff. He told me, okay, Rudy, there is a national championship for boxing coming up. So get ready to fight. If you win, you can get some good money that can help you go wherever you want because here there is no future. And also, Sudan, that time also there was no like professional MMA was not there. Only one gym was organizing some underground MMA fights, so it was also
Mhm.
very hard to stay there. So the boxing national championship came, and I fought. I win. I became Sudan national boxing champ, and the federation gave me a purse. They really helped me, especially the gym. Also, the gym member, all the gym member, they knew my situation what I was going through. They chip in, they just contributed money, buy for me a ticket. They bought for me flight ticket, visa, and they gave me money. They say, we think maybe in Dubai you can make it because Dubai there is a pro MMA and there you can make it. They gave me everything I needed, and from there I took my flight from Sudan to UAE. That's where I am now.
That's a massive leap as well. That's a huge leap. Did
Yeah.
it scare you to go to the UAE?
Yeah, it was
The
really
idea.
scaring because the biggest thing was getting a job wasn't easy at all,
Mm.
and also I don't know anyone in UAE. I've never been there before, but they
And the
was really
culture is
telling me,
different.
yeah, the
It's
culture
yeah.
also was different. But they told me, don't worry. Whenever you need money, we'll help you. The Sudanese boxing federation was there for me.
Yeah.
Even when I reached here, they were sending me money for my accommodation. They were sending me money for food, everything they were sending before the war started there. And until I get a job, I told them, okay, now I have a job. You don't need to send me money for now. I can cut it for myself.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is so I'm wondering. So you believe this is an act of God, basically? That like, because not only did the American guy show up and just start giving you money to fund your career, but then when he couldn't fund anymore, you have the sheikh who and the kickboxing academy suddenly chipping in.
Exactly, exactly. For me, I strongly believe that God is beyond all this because this move couldn't be possible just by myself or by my luck or by something. It's God's assistance. I strongly believe in that. I strongly
Mm.
believe in that. Yeah.
Even though it wasn't one smooth way. It's like the guy came in, funded your life, and then after that, you still ended up homeless for a little bit in Sudan
Yeah.
before
You know,
the aid came in again.
yeah, whenever I face a hard time in my life, there is always someone who will come from nowhere who will come and support. Can you imagine? Uh, when I reached Kenya, that guy from the US just came from nowhere. And once I reached Sudan, I didn't know these people from K-Fit, the boxing gym in Sudan. They just came and started supporting me. They bought for
Yeah,
me a phone. They bought for me everything, shoes, clothes, everything they were buying for me. Suitcase, bags, all the stuff. They were giving me literally food and whatever. I
yeah,
reached here, all of a sudden, someone just came from nowhere suggested me a job like a kickboxing instructor. I got a job directly. People used to have hard time finding a job in Dubai, especially from Africa, but I got it very easy. It wasn't hard for me. And once
yeah.
I did my first professional fight, I lost the fight because I didn't have before this knowledge of wrestling. I was just a striker. I didn't have any wrestling
Yes, yeah,
knowledge
yeah.
and jiu-jitsu. After losing the fight, I got a manager. Having a manager in UAE is not easy. It's not easy. There are a lot of talent around. They have like 6 fights, 6 wins, but they still don't have manager. They still struggle to look to their own fight. But me, I
Mhm.
got a manager who took me to the next level directly to UAE Warriors, which is
How,
Rene
how
Valencia.
how did you meet?
We,
How did this happen?
that's what I'm telling you. This is God's assistance. Can you imagine? Rene, I didn't know him. We were just in the WhatsApp group, a WhatsApp group of people meeting together to motivate each other for working
Oh,
out
okay.
for,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Operation 8. We just met there
It's
introducing
like a
each
social
other.
group, basically. It's just
Yeah, so a social
yeah,
group, yeah. I introduced myself. I'm an MMA fighter, and I saw him introduce himself. Okay, I'm Rene Valencia. I'm a sports manager and working sponsorship. I said, oh, I'm looking for a manager. Can we talk in private? And that's how it started.
that's
That's how
crazy.
it
That's
started.
wild. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's not a
yeah,
bit. Because if you're looking at a social group, like where everyone is involved, the MMA world is so small that what are the odds that
yeah.
you're in the same group? And it's
Sure,
not two
sure, sure.
fighters; it's a fighter and a manager. It's like that's the match there. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
exactly.
insane.
Mm.
Does did you? So I wonder something though. Like when you were learning martial arts, did your did it help you with your comfort? Were you like a lot less scared when you were homeless and stuff like that, knowing that you were able to fight?
Yeah, like basically, I learned as I said before, I learned martial art just to protect my sisters. That was
Yeah.
the biggest aim. But with time, I came to realize that I've got like no credential in terms of university credential or diploma or something. The
Mm.
only thing I know right now is just fighting. fighting and maybe teaching people how to fight. This is the only thing I know. This is the only thing I've been doing in my whole life.
Yeah.
So why can't it be like a professional career for me? That's why I say when I watched this Ned Diaz fight and Conor McGregor, I said I have to reach this level. I have to reach this level because if I die like now, I didn't achieve this one. It like I didn't even live. As for now, I
Yeah.
consider that I didn't start even living right now. Although I'm facing a lot of challenges to make it in my career because of fight opportunity, but I still believe that someone will come from somewhere to help me reach somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Someone is gonna come from somewhere. It's and but it also like it still is a specialty job, which is why I think you just were easily able to get the kickboxing job, you know, like the kickboxing instructor, right?
Sorry,
So
I didn't get you.
so because that it's a specialty job, so it's not like there's a lot of kickboxing instructors. I think that's why you easily got the job. So that's based
Yeah,
on your skills. You were at the right
yeah.
place at the right time. So yeah. Do you like somehow like let go of things you can't control, you don't have control over, just because it always has ended up working out?
Uh, yeah, a little bit because kickboxing. It not only because I'm a kickboxer as a fighter, but also I went through an international sports science association certification of kickboxing
Hmm.
that qualifies me to be a kickboxing instructor. Although
Okay, yeah.
they're not too much, but in terms of certification, I'm a certified kickboxing instructor. But it's not really like something that burned in me. I just use this job as a kickboxing instructor to support myself, like paying the rent here in Dubai, paying the gym because I pay monthly my monthly
Yeah.
membership to train in the pro team, and transportation, food, and supporting my sisters back home. That's the only thing I'm working as kickboxing instructor, but it like that. It's not like something I really want to be like a kickboxing instructor because I'm definitely a fighter, not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
passionate coach.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's the side that could, yeah, but yeah, that's what a lot of fighters do. I mean, this they teach at the gym and then or at another gym and then they train. Um
yeah.
so you're but so okay, actually there's one part that's missing here. Where when did you learn to speak English? Where?
I
How long did it
yeah,
take?
English I start learning from Kenya. From Kenya, Kenya is a
Okay,
English first
well back.
spoken country. Yeah, so when I reached Kenya, I didn't know any single word of English, but from there, I started really learning English, and I was so much in touch with this American guy who was helping me a lot with American English
Oh,
and
great.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Did you call? Did you call on the phone as well? Like you used to talk?
it was very hard, in the when it was like a phone call or video call, I was not getting him at all. Like the way you speak English right now, before I couldn't get you. I could text you, we could text each other, but when it
Mm.
started speaking, I couldn't get his accent at all, at
Also,
all.
if it's a Texas
But
accent.
yeah. But with time, I
Yeah.
started getting used to his accent. That's why I improved
Mhm.
a little bit. So all went from Kenya, from Nairobi.
So now, so you had that. You said the first fight, and then the second fight was with your manager. He got you the
Yeah,
fight at UAE Warriors.
yeah.
So that's a big stage all of a sudden, you know. Did you
Yeah.
sort of like use that? Would you say you use that fight as sort of a place to like gauge where you're at, where your level is at, what you need to work at, what you need to work on?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
That fight was definitely one of the most. I think it will stay the most important fight of my life or my career. Although I don't know my future yet, but I
Mm.
learned a lot from that fight. First of all, I never fought amateur MMA.
Yeah.
I never fought in the cage before. My first fight was in the ring. The second one directly in the cage in the eye level directly, and I fought against someone who is uh, he has been fighting in big stage for a long time in China, in Singapore. He has been 9 times Sanda Kung Fu Sanda world champion, so
Oh,
he's used to that audience. And people didn't give me a chance. They say he will knock me out in the first round, all this stuff. I took my chance. I said it's okay, even if I lose. Still, I will learn from this fight. When I went there, and I had also a team that supported me. It went so good in the beginning, although he was collecting so much point and round one, round two, and I
mhm.
was much more prudent. My wrestling was not much better than his, and his striking was really okay. I'm also a kickboxer, but his striking was a different level. It was really, really, really higher than me in striking. And at the end of the time, he guessed out. The last round was my round. I took him down. I was smashing him, and the gong, just the final round, saved him. And the thing is, I learned that I couldn't take the pro fight directly. That time I should do a lot of wrestling and jiu-jitsu. And with my manager, we organized that I should go really into a one-on-one wrestling session and jiu-jitsu session. And the best place to do it was in Thailand. And he managed everything for me. He sent me to Thailand, where I really learned a lot. I really learned a lot. I practiced a lot in the best gym, the best camp in Thailand, in Phuket. I trained at American Kickboxing Academy, aka Thailand. I trained in Phuket Grappling Academy. I trained at the Tiger Muay Thai. So I really get really great skill sets that make me now much more complete. And till now, I keep on training at 971 Gym, which is the best gym in Dubai in terms of MMA and martial arts. And it's taught me a lot. I know my weakness. I know what went wrong in that fight, and how I can really be because my dream is to be the most entertaining fighter of all time. The goal I set to myself. So I'm improving myself and my game every day, and I'm getting much better than the last fight. So if I get this next fight, I think maybe I will have to have only 2 or 3 wins to get to a very big organization and show the world what I'm capable of doing.
And did you always like? Do you have any ambitions of like having a legacy in Africa, sort of to represent Africa? Do you have any pride towards being an African champion, or are you just
Yeah,
competing for yourself?
no, definitely. I want something for Africa, especially for Congo. You can see today someone like Francis Ngannou. It went almost the same kind of challenge I
Yeah, I
went
was
through.
thinking this. Yeah, this whole
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
and you can see the way he did in his country with very good MMA academy for kids, especially street kids and so on. Those who
Yeah.
didn't get chance to practice martial arts, so he did it for them. And you can see Kamara Usman with this promotion, AKO in Nigeria. So you can see that people are really doing. And in my country, MMA is not well known. MMA is not well known. When someone asks you in my country, what are you doing in life? You say I'm a MMA fighter. They don't understand what is MMA.
Yeah.
They don't know what is they know what is boxing. They know kickboxing, but MMA they don't know what it is. And there is no
Still,
professional. Yes,
but they
still
still
so
don't
far,
know.
still,
Yeah.
yeah. And all the people who are like from my country who are going to the UFC, they change their nationality easily. Like you have. There is Mark Diakese in the UFC. Is fighting now out of
England.
London. Yeah,
Yeah.
England. Yeah, you have other people. Dalcha is fighting
That
out of
is
South
true.
Africa. Yeah, so it's like even when they come back to Congo,
I
nobody
thought
knows.
Dalcha was representing Congo still, I think.
Yeah, sometimes you see him with a South African flag as well. So it's like,
Really? He just like switches,
yeah,
yeah, switches
yeah,
around.
switching like Israel Adesanya is doing with the New Zealand and Nigerian flag.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you wanna go like Congo. You wanna be the guy that also gives them hope and you know makes
yeah, that's really
MMA like
much.
does what Francis Ngannou did in Cameroon. You wanna do it in Congo, basically that
Yeah, sure,
influence.
definitely. Yeah,
Because if you look at it like at the end of the day, martial arts actually saved you, kind of,
yeah,
So it can do that for a lot of people if it goes the same way. And when you see the sort of camaraderie and brotherhood that is, it's funny because he said like there's no brotherhood in Congo,
mm,
but you found brotherhood in those gyms, I guess you can say, because in
definitely,
martial arts
definitely.
like there's this brotherhood thing, this team feeling, and you can see that in the support and how they funded the
Yeah.
rest of your career.
Hmm.
What are some struggles you're having right now in a sense to further your what are some things that you think you're missing to further your career, take the next step?
Yeah, first of all, I'm having a very big problem with the fact that I'm from Africa. It's already a problem because with my
Really?
passport, it's getting hard to get a visa to get some fights to some good organization which is based in like Europe or other countries.
Yeah.
They can be willing to assist me, like to give me a fight. But whenever they know that I'm from Africa, the process to get visa, first of all, it's getting hard, getting really complicated. And also, I have, I have 0-2 in my record, which gives me also
Hmm.
hard time getting a shot to some organizations. They don't know about what I've been through. They don't know about what I've been doing to level up myself in terms of my skill set and who I am right now. They don't know the kind of beast I am, but
Mm.
they don't. They just look at the records. They just look at the record. Oh, he has 2 losses.
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't care about my kickboxing stuff. For them, it's nothing, just MMA. So it's getting really hard to get a shot to fight regular. Last fight I fought was last year with UAE Warriors, and soon it will be 1 year. I'm not fighting. I'm like getting like inactive. I'm just training. I did a very good training camp in Thailand. I came back here with 971, doing sparring and training with the one of the best people. I train with Cody Nolov. I train with
Hmm.
Hamza Chimaev. I train with the best here with Munil Aziz, and all these people we training and getting much more. Confidence and skills, but still, it's hard for me to get a fight, to get fight regularly. It's really hard. My manager is trying hard. Rene is trying a
Hmm.
lot, but it's still really hard. That is the biggest challenge that really keeps me away a little bit from my dream.
So essentially, what you need is just that one fight now to show everyone like how
Yeah,
much you've changed. Basically, that's
yeah,
the most
sure.
important fight of your life is now this next one, basically for you.
Exactly. So next fight
So
will
just
be
one chance. You need one chance.
exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's the only thing I can really request to some promoters if they can be willing to.
And you don't have a hard time getting visas in the Middle East, let's say, like where you're at now. So
No,
it's
in the Middle East, it's easy.
so yeah, it has to be in the Middle East. Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope we can spread the message and like get some. Yeah, we'll probably get a lot of clips out of this one too that hopefully everyone gets to share. And
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we've been working. I mean, I've been looking as well. So yeah, I think we'll find something. I think we'll find something pretty soon. Because there's a lot. Because
Inshallah.
in the Middle East, there's a lot of promotions coming up. Like
Mhm.
there's new
Yeah.
ones every like, cause I know the fight scene there. I have a couple of fighters I work with. I also like dabble in management here and there. Um,
Okay.
so every time it's like people are reaching out, like, do you have a fighter for this promotion? Do you have a fighter for this promotion? And some promotions fail, they disappear,
Hmm.
but there's a lot of
Yeah,
them
yeah,
coming up. So there's a lot of motion in this region. So, you know,
yeah,
yeah, hopefully. So I guess the ultimate goal is going to be the UFC eventually.
yeah, definitely. Inshallah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
inshallah, man. Yeah.
yeah.
Are there any things and like sort of goals you have outside of fighting that you still want to achieve?
Yeah, ex except the fact of reaching the high level of mixed martial art, I really dream of having a big gym, a MMA gym in my country, not only in Congo, in Kinshasa, but especially in Goma, where there is. But the biggest problem
Wow.
is that there is still war there. I know
Yeah.
there are a lot of talent. I know a lot of people who are so much talented. They know a lot in terms of martial arts, in boxing, kickboxing, even judo. They can do a lot. They can give a lot. But the thing is they don't. They end up in the army. They end up in the army. They are recruited by
Yeah.
force. They are taken by rebel force. So if at least they are given a chance to train, can you imagine? I really saw a complete gym with all the equipment. Only here in UAE, all the countries have been passing through. Okay, Sudan as well. There was some gym, but like real gym just here. Can you imagine these people in Congo or in Africa? We've been training with piece of woods, and we've been training with really. I think you understand. We've never been in a serious gym, but at least we're
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to the Olympic Games. We're having some medals, some trophy. So what if we have like a real gym with real coaches, experienced coaches? I think we can really do. We can really do good things in MMA and boost a little bit Africa in the world stage.
Yeah, and I see it a lot because I see it a lot because I mean, on the Air Media Productions, our page, like there's a lot of people sometimes sending their videos and stuff, and there's a lot of people from similar areas in Africa that don't have gyms or don't have coaches or anything that are just doing
Yeah,
it. But
yeah,
the fundamentals, like everything looks so like you can see that there's so much talent because there's like
mm,
speed, there's power, there's footwork, there's everything.
sure,
But they need to
exactly,
work on the game. Like they just need that chance to start working on their game and their strategy and
exactly.
mixing it all together. You know, so um, that would be like it would take someone like you to sort of like take the risk of starting a gym there, and also i- in a place where there's no opportunities or like not much to do. There's just
Mm,
like war going on. Like if that's this new facility opens, like I'm sure it's gonna draw a lot of people that don't know anything
yeah,
about fighting either, that are gonna love it. You know.
yeah, 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 sure.
So yeah, no, I wish you good luck in that, and thank you so much for coming on and telling your story. Do you have any final words you still wanna say, and people you wanna thank?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. I have to thank some few people, especially good big thank to Rene Valencia. I used to call him my man because he has been there always and all the time supporting me for everything, not only in my career as a fighter, but also in my life in general. He's my good advisor. I used to consider him like a big brother.
Mhm.
A lot of thanks to him and to the whole team, One Valencia. I'd like also to say thank you to my team, my coach Milano at 971, my coach, my wrestling coach Ramsey. I'd like also to say thank you to all the sparring partners. They've been really brothers to me, and we helping each other a lot. And I like the brotherhood we are having there in the gym. It's so heartwarming being in a family like that. And I'd like also to greet my sisters back in Congo and tell them that always to hope that we're gonna make it, and all I'm doing it for them. They will really enjoy the sacrifice I'm going through. And also, ultimately, I'd like to thank you to host me in the Air Media production and give me a chance to express
Appreciate it.
myself to this big stage.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Rudy Tshisuaka is I really am rooting for you, and like hopefully we can help get you that next fight.
yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.